Salam
Sal-
Manna.
Salam Asad, how are you
So
doing?
we're back again for our, I think now weekly session on questions related to the reality, which is God and the books of God, and specifically the Quran, which most of this world detests and hates because they are incapable of understanding the reality that exists around them. So, we were talking earlier, and you wanted to talk about a couple of things. So, can you lead in and then we will start with the first of them?
Yes, I wanted to talk about partnering with God. And in the Quran, it says it very clearly that He doesn't forgive if you partner with Him. And other than that, He may forgive whatever He wishes to whomever He wishes. So I wanted to talk about that, that if you can explain what and how we can fall into the trap of partnering. And also, I wanted you to explain to us about the day of the standing. People have spread so many falsehoods and lies about that. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
So, with the partnering, the actual word partner is quite self evident. Yeah, it's self explanatory what the word partner means. Yeah, when you say partnering with God, it means a specific thing which is defined in the Quran. Now, if you are asked what is a partner, can you explain? Do you know what a partner is? I mean, you're my partner, right?
right. Yeah,
Is
exactly.
in a marriage. We're in a
Yes,
marriage, and you're a partner. So can you explain what you understand from a partner?
like somebody who's an associate, somebody who shares,
Yeah, there you go.
or
Share. That's the word.
yeah,
Partner is somebody you share something with. Yeah, that's partnership. And if you look around on the earth, there are partnerships between nations, between people, between companies, between people, between societies. I mean, there are partnerships that are uncountable on the earth. If you look at what you just said as a share, yeah,
yeah, like companies
within,
to
yeah,
corporations, companies.
exactly.
Mhm.
So within a company which is owned by multiple people, it's a partnership, yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think a partnership means intrinsically that everybody has equal share or equal command or equal rights in a partnership?
Oh, I don't know. Yes. I mean,
No.
people have like a bigger share and a smaller
So
share
then
or
they
in a
don't have
partnership.
equal. That's what I'm
Yeah, they
asking. They
don't.
cannot
Yeah.
have equal share in a
Yeah.
partnership. So if you have any kind of, even if people say that you have a equal partnership, that we're in an equal partnership, they're really lying. Because one will have, even if you say we're 50% owners of this, whatever it is, a dog or a cat or a country or a company or a building, whatever you want to, it doesn't matter. I'm just giving an example. So
Yeah.
if they say they're 50%, 50%, it's actually not right, because one will have an edge over the other, no matter what. So, for example, our partnership that we have in this marriage, have you ever seen it to be an equal partnership in your life? That we've been married, what, 27, 8, whatever years, I don't know. I lost count. So,
Yeah.
has it been an equal partnership?
No, you have been the head of the family.
No,
So,
I mean the answer is no. It doesn't matter who's been
no.
the head of the family. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, let's put it out there. Let's spill the beans. I've been in command. I
Yeah.
have the last say, but that doesn't
Yeah.
mean you don't win sometimes,
Yeah.
right? So the
Yeah.
partnership is this. This is what a partnership is. Is it clear like what a partnership actually is? This is what a partnership is. I mean, is
No,
there any other way of explaining it?
yes. If you
How?
could explain it more, like, I mean, it's
No,
not
yeah, but
very
like,
clear.
what more do you want explaining that what is a partnership?
So,
This is a partnership.
okay,
Well,
let
then
me just
you make yourself equal with someone, you make yourself part of someone's command or authority or ownership, or you usurp 90% or 80% or 100%. Yeah, the dictator, the one who's the worst in there, is 100% owner in their minds. Yeah, then none
Yeah.
of the so-called dictators on the earth are 100% owners of whatever they dictate. I mean, this is obvious. Do you think any leader on the earth controls all the land
No.
supposedly under his control, supposedly? Or do you think any king controls everything that is in his land that he supposedly? No, no.
No.
So this is where I will come to the break. There is no share with God. Okay, nobody shares anything with God, and he doesn't share anything with anyone. That's the absolute complete control and absolute ownership of everything to God. So anybody who comes and say I own this, he's lost right there. And we have all lost because we have said we own this or we own that in our
Yes.
lives. You need to unlearn that. You need to unlearn the fact that you own something. You need to learn the fact that you own nothing. All you have is control or power over something. And the one who has given it to you is the one who created you, which most of these morons do not believe exists. Yeah? They don't believe that the one who created them exists, the God,
Yes.
Allah, whatever you want to call him. Yeah. So right there is the crux of it all. Yeah. That those people who don't believe God exists, they make themselves God, or they make nothing God fundamentally. Yeah. Because everything came from nothing, so nothing is God.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Bunch of morons. Yeah. So now we come to the act of how do you partner with God. That's many ways you can partner with God, and then written in the Quran. Like, I'm not going to go through all of them. Let's touch on some of the ways you can partner with God. So first of all, uh, do you think you can partner with an entity that doesn't exist?
No.
Okay, so first of all, you must know or believe, at least, if not, you don't know that God exists. Otherwise,
Okay.
you can't partner with God. You get it? So
Yes.
if you think or you believe or you know or you think you know that God doesn't exist, you can never partner with God. I mean, I mean, in your heart, He doesn't exist. So you cannot partner with someone who does not exist. So the act of partnering with God can only occur once you have accepted that there is a God. It cannot happen before you make that assumption or make that conclusion or you believe that God exists. You must believe God exists for you to believe that you are in some way a partner with God, yeah, or someone else is a
Mhm.
partner with God. So there are many ways. Example, that you say that I have some command with God, that He listens to my command. Yeah, you're partnering with God
Yeah.
right there. He can give me the command, and I command with that command. I don't command God with that command. He's already given me that command, so I have that command to implement. That's not
Yes.
partnering. You, if you think that you have a command other than what God has commanded, and you have command over his command, then you're partnering with God. And that's the basic way they do it with every book. Yeah, when every book comes, they just invent their own nonsense outside, and they overturn what God sent, and they're partnering with him. Like the people who have the Torah, the people who have the Bible, the Injil, and the people who have the Quran, which cannot be changed, but they've invented nonsense outside of it, and they overturn the command of God. Once you overturn the command of God, you are partnering with God. If you actually believe, yeah, you must believe. There's no way to partner without believing. That's a thing that needs to be understood, and people mostly don't understand. Oh, they are the heathens. They are the partners are the idol worshippers. Yeah, you can be an idol worshiper as a partner, but you must believe first that God exists, then make other idols next
Yeah.
to God,
Next
like
to
all
him.
their
Yeah.
idols in the earth today. Their
Yeah.
musicians, their stars, their leaders, their politicians, their popes, their rabbis, their all these people, they will make them gods with God, because half of them, not all, say that God exists, and they somehow have partnership with God. Nobody has partnership with God. Another way is to make lineage to God. They make lineage to the demons, between God and the demons. First of all, they don't even believe demons exist, but those who do, they make demons lineage with God, and us making demons the gods. And these people who have some knowledge of the unseen, or somehow can interact with the unseen, are fooled by the demons that they pretend to be gods to them. Especially these people who get into these psychedelics, and they warp their minds to get over to the other side. I mean, there's a good possibility they're interacting with demons who pretend to be either angels or gods, and they take them further astray than they already are. And their desires is what they play upon. Yeah, our
Yes.
desires make us fall into partnering. And this is why has
Mhm.
God given us that desire? I mean, it's a trial. You must fight your desire. If your desire was to be righteous and good all the time, then what's the point of a trial? Fundamentally, I mean, like, if we
Right.
are supposed to be all righteous and all good, and we do never evil, never can think evil or can invent evil, then what's the point of having a trial? We'll never do any wrong. So you have
Exactly.
to be able to do the wrong, and you have to have the inclination to do the wrong. So there's one other way. The one simple way of partnering with God
Mhm.
is disallowing what God allows to eat. This is a very simple way that you can partner with God. Somebody says, "Oh, God has disallowed this from being eaten," and He has actually not, which is in the Quran. So where do you go? The Quran. The
Yeah.
Quran is telling you what you can and cannot do, specifically for eating as well, and everything else as well. So then they will say, "Oh, what about this? That's not mentioned in the Quran." No discussion on that. No
Yeah.
argument on that. If
Yeah.
the Quran is not clear about anything, you don't have to worry about it. Then you can look at your heart, and you can analyze from knowledge and wisdom of the book, and it will guide you to whether what you're going to do is right or wrong, or give you a ill feeling or a good feeling about it. But if you make a mistake in that, God is much more forgiving than you can imagine, and He is much more uh, evil than you can imagine as well. So he will forgive for those innocent mistakes or unintentional, when you are not desiring to go against God, when your
Yeah.
intent is to do what is right and you do wrong. God will forgive that. I mean, this is an obvious truth that most people cannot understand. They just look at the evil side of what's going on, and everything evil is God and everything good is you people, right? It's nonsense.
Yeah.
Everything evil is us and everything good is God.
Yes.
But we came from God, so God is evil. Yeah, of course he can be evil. He is evil. He's been evil. He is going to be evil, and he is going to be very, very evil in the end to those who are rebellious, rejectors, wicked, partnering, doubters of God and the hereafter and what's written in the book, until they die, and they will know the truth and immediately will want to believe. So
Yeah.
this is the state of people, right?
Yeah. And God says, right, that, I mean, it says in the book that God doesn't want wrongdoing to the servants, but we ourselves, we do wrong to ourselves, and the evil
Yeah,
that comes to us is
yeah,
because of ourselves, right?
absolutely. So, and when people do wrong to me now, I mean, in the early days when I was totally astray, I didn't understand why evil is coming to me. But whatever evil or bad you've done can come back to haunt you, to do evil to you in another manner which is equivalent to that. The only difference is that God passes over most of our evils, and he punishes us for few of our evils in this life, and most of that is for the believers to turn back to righteousness,
Yeah.
and for the rejectors and wicked to understand they're wrong. But most of us cannot figure out, and we blame the person who's done wrong to us in the evident, in the openness. Yeah, oh, that guy slapped me. Yeah, and you will not understand why you were slapped, because you forgot all the evil you did in your life.
Yes.
This is a simple example. So anyway, going back to partnering, so so basically, like, saying this is disallowed to eat, and it's actually not disallowed in the Quran, which is all the so-called Muslims, they're all partnering just by that fact. Just by that one fact,
Yes.
they're all partnering with God, and they're going to hell.
Yes.
Simple. God is clear in the Quran, absolutely clear, crystal clear, what is forbidden or disallowed to eat. It's absolutely clear. Yeah, I'm not
Why
going to
don't
go
you
into
tell
it.
us?
Huh? No,
Yeah.
I'm not going to
No.
tell you.
Okay.
You can go. It's very clear. I'm not going to
Yeah.
tell you. It's clear, and people don't want to know. Yeah, and I don't want to tell them. They can go look for themselves. Yeah. So we're talking about partnering. So when they have already disallowed things that are not disallowed in the Quran, you're going to hell anyways. You can say whatever you want. It doesn't matter. It has no meaning to God. You hold the Quran. I'm talking about the people who hold the Quran. Those who
Yes.
don't, they will be judged for not holding the Quran. You reject the Quran, you're going to hell. You accept the Quran and you do what you're doing with it, like the so called Muslims, you're going to hell. Fundamentally, everybody's going to hell right now. And I say fundamentally because not everybody. When I say all of them are going to hell, it's not like all of them, or all of them who are rejecting the Quran, who are
Yes.
making mockery of the Quran, who are mocking God by their actions and they don't even understand it. Even if they don't intend it, they're mocking God. So this is how partnering. And then the other simple ways, they make sons to God, and they think that Jesus is the only son of God, the so-called Christians, yeah. And then they call themselves children of God. How does
Yes.
that add up? Can you explain that to me? How does this, when they say that Jesus is the one and only Son of God, and then in the next sentence we're all children of God?
Yeah.
Excuse me. And then they call God the Father. Whose father? And this is total nonsense. They are going to go to hell for saying it. They can do whatever they want. They can say whatever they want. They're going to go to hell for it. I mean, that's
Yep.
clear understanding. Then they make spouses to God, that he has some spouses. Like Mary is supposed to be had relations with God to have Jesus for them, right? I mean, they mix it up into all sorts of nonsense. That's the only way you can be a father if he's a man, God, which he isn't. This is nonsense, absolute, total, egregious nonsense, and wickedness against God. And they will soon pay for it. He's already told them they're going to pay for it. And then the Christians who are running around saying we're the believers, and the Jews running around we're the believers, the rest are the goyim. Yeah, no, no, no. You are the goyims. Yeah, the believers don't exist except me. I'm the only believer on the earth that I know of, and maybe a few others. I don't know of many. I don't know of any actually. You people are trying to follow me. You're getting to a level of belief where you may be counted as those who believe. But to be a believer, you must act on the book in its entirety. Those are the true believers. We believe with everything in the book, the good and the evil. Yeah, the lowly examples and the high examples, we believe all of them. They're all from God, and they explain the truth, the absolute truth. If you submit to God, accept your ineptitude in front of God, total nonsense that we are, retarded people in front of God, we don't understand a thing, and God explains everything to us. That's how you need to act in front of God, so that might turn and mercy you and accept your acceptance of who you are in front of him, and teach you like he taught me. I mean, he's taught me everything. I didn't understand a thing when I started reading this book in 2002. I understand almost everything in the book, and more beyond the book, which I couldn't understand before, because the book explains it, and God inspires me through things that are happening outside. He doesn't just teach me with this book, he teaches me what people do out there, how they're acting and reacting, and what they're saying and what they're doing in the world. All that teaches me and confirms what God has taught to me. So now, this one thing I wanted to uh, visit upon, that the word partner in Arabic, those who know Arabic, is shirk. Yeah, shirk, the three letters, sheen, re, kaf. Yeah, and the word for thanks is shakara, shukar. Yeah, to
Right.
thank.
Yeah.
It is two letters flipped. That's how easy it is to go from thanking God to
To part.
partnering from God, or partnering with God. This is you need to understand how fine the line is. And most people who believe, they go from thanking God to partnering wrong without blinking an eye. And God has written in the Quran that most people who will believe will partner with God. They will partner. And it's written. And that's a sad state of affairs that we don't understand. They don't want to understand. And they will say that we don't partner. No, no, no. We don't partner anything. We don't forbid anything other than what God forbid. And I've listened to my parents say it. I've listened to many other people say it. It's nonsense. They will stand that day in front of God, and they will then cry that, we were wrong. Oh, actually, they will cry. And also, some of them will say, no, we didn't partner. They will lie to God there on that day that we didn't partner. We did not partner with God. No, no. We were partnering. Our Lord, we did not partner. Liars, hypocrites. Hypocrites are the people who don't accept what they are actually, even when they're explained with absolute clarity what they are and what they do. Yeah, I mean, you must have a lot of example of that yourself in your life. Yeah. Anyway, so this is the one thing I want to talk about, the letters. I mean, everything is coded in this book. So if you look at the word partner, the different permutations of it that I translated, when the book, the Quran that I translated, it has four different versions of it. Yeah. So there's a partner, partners, partnering, and partnership, and partnered. Actually, there's five. Yeah. So these are the five ways I've translated the word. So there's no partnership with God. There is no partners with God. There are no partners with God. There is no partner with God. And those who partnered with God will go to hell. So this is how I've translated the word, although the word comes from the same base, sharik, shirk, shuraka, they partner, he partners, so this is how the word is written in the Quran. Now, that doesn't have to mean that all partnering is bad. When people say, "Oh, you're partnering with the so and so," it's bad. No, I can partner with anyone I want. If I partner with the angels of God, or the Spirit of God, Gabriel, or the messengers and prophets of God, there's no harm in it. If I partner with the Satan and the rejectors on the earth today, which outnumber me 8 billion to 1, literally, yeah, or I partner with the hypocrites and the actual people who are partnering with God. See that? I
Yeah, yeah,
partner with those I will do wrong, even if I'm not partnering. So we're warned, don't turn to them. Don't turn to the rejectors and those who partner. Don't turn to them, because they will turn you back to what you came out of, because they're envious of you. They cannot handle how you are the way you are if you're a believer. They can't. They cannot handle the fact that we don't give a damn. We don't give a damn about death, because we're all going to die. There's
yeah,
no two things about it. You're not going to survive death in this world. So once you've accepted that, what are you going to fear? Starvation, imprisonment, torture, humiliation? What? When this world's going to end, and then you know it's a hoax, it's a joke, it's a play. This whole world, life of the world is play. What are you going to fear after that? If you accept that in your heart, think about it.
truly, yes, exactly.
If you truly accept that, what are you going to fear? Nothing. You don't fear anything here. I mean, it's all going to end. It's not like if they do you harm, that they will not be done harm too. Obviously, if they do it wrongly, if you are done harm rightly, then the one who doing harm will not have any repercussions of that. You have to understand there's righteous evil and there's wrongdoing evil or unrighteous evil. There's righteous anger, there's righteous war, there's righteous humiliation. All these evil things can be done righteously, just like all the evil things, all the good things can be done unrighteously.
Yeah,
You can do a lot of unrighteousness with all the so-called good. Yeah, so that's
yeah.
where the bottom line comes. What is good or evil? There's really no good or evil. It's right or wrong. And
Why
how do you
you're doing it,
Hmm?
why you're doing it, and what you're doing, and why you're doing it, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what nobody wants to understand. And they go on their hearts, what their hearts tell them. And their hearts are diseased. They haven't purified their hearts to a level where they can actually judge between right and wrong. And for that, you need this book of God. That gives you what is right and wrong, not what is, also tells you what good and evil is. Yeah. God doesn't like wars. Yeah, God doesn't like to do evil. Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's not going to do it. He does it. Obviously, he's been doing it forever. He'll continue for the end till the end of time for us. Even in the hereafter, he'll be doing a lot of evil.
Yes.
But that's where they cannot understand this fundamental dichotomy, which goes against their desires and what their hearts want. Yeah, so that's a problem. Yeah. So anyway, any other
Uh,
bifurcations of?
yeah, I did have a question. And what about your desires? Can you partner with God? Like if you run after your desires, that means that, and if it's against the book of God, then that means you made your desire a God, right? Or
Yeah,
your
exactly. I mean,
yourself.
that's like you can do it without knowing God as well. But if you do know God and you
Yeah.
make your thoughts your God, then you're making partners with God. Absolutely, if you follow your thought and the desires. Well, I mean, We have desires intrinsically, all of us, yeah. Some of us have certain desires which are our weaknesses, other have other desires which are their weaknesses. So if you fall for that, fighting that, and you still, do it because you made a mistake, I mean, God is forgiving, yeah. So that will come up to God's judgment, and how much you've strived to fight your desires and stop over your desires. The Quran is clear in telling anyone, those who stop over their desires, they're the prosperous, they're the successful, they are the achievers. So what does that mean then? Then we're supposed to follow all our desires? No, we got to fight most of our
No.
desires. And you got to use those desires to desire the right thing, because desire is just an intrinsic word. Yeah. What you're desiring is what makes the difference. Most people desire the life of the world because they see nothing else. And they have
Yeah.
no knowledge of anything else except the life of the world. So they will follow that. And when you basically destroy the aspect that there is a afterlife or a life after the death in this world, then you will end up in the fire, and nothing of partnering will ever matter. So going back to those who partner after believing, most of mankind will partner with God after they believe God exists, but most of mankind will not believe. This is what's written in the Quran. So more than 50% are not going to believe, right? Outright. And of the rest who believe, most of them are going to partner. That's why I've been saying,
Yeah.
since I understood this a decade or two ago, that most of mankind is going to hell. The vast majority, from time beginning to the end of this creation. So you understand that, and once you believe, you need to be very vigilant that you don't partner with God. I mean, I know that they can partner me with God without me even knowing, because the ones who are messengers, they will say, when did I tell you to partner me with God?
Yeah.
I told you to obey what I'm telling you, not make me God. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what they do. They make the messenger God. And then when the next guy comes that says he's the messenger, no, 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 you can't be messenger. There's no more messengers, because their messenger is their God. So they
Yeah.
cannot be another God for them. Yeah. And
Yeah.
they're already partnering that guy with the real God who he came to tell them about. Such a bunch of nonsense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a bunch of
Yeah. Yeah.
nonsense.
Yeah. Yeah, I did want you to read those few signs of chapter 19.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah. You told me about that. So the one where partnering, those who are
yeah,
saying there's,
and to the Almighty take sons. Yeah.
let's see. Uh, Here it is. So I'll bring it up here. Here it is. Yeah. So these are the signs you were talking about.
Yes, if you can read them, please.
Yeah. So in chapter 19, towards the end, it says that not they control the intercession except one who takes with the Almighty a promise. So there are intercessors with God, but only those who take a promise with you, like me. I have covenanted with God, I've taken a promise with God, and I witness with the truth, which is the Quran. I don't witness with my own thoughts, I witness with the words of this book. So I have power of intercession with God. That does not make me God. That doesn't mean that when I say, God, do this, he's going to do it. But I have the power to intercede and say, God, don't do this. And then it's up to him to decide whether to do it or not himself. He will not listen to me in my judgment. He will look at what I ask, and he knows better. So if I ask for somebody to be destroyed, it's my intercession, and God says, nope, I have no control. See, so when they say the intercessors are going to save them, they're not going to save them. God's going to save them, but he gives us the power to intercede, to come in between God and the thing and tell God, hey, we want this. And God says, yeah, step aside. You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So, and they say, takes the Almighty sons. Yeah, which one are those? The Christians, the Hindus today, even Buddhists to an extent, and many other who are hidden. Yeah, already you bring a thing monstrous, want the heavens, they surely fall down from it, and she split the earth and fall the mountains flat, that they call to the Almighty sons. So this is the enormity with which God hates their nonsense. It's written here clearly, and it's all over the book. It keeps telling them, it's repeated over and over, because God will give them no excuse who know the Quran today, and that's the vast majority. They
Yeah.
know the Quran and they reject it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They reject this aspect of the Quran.
Yep.
And then it comes, continues, and not at seeking to the Almighty that he takes sons. If each one in the heavens and the earth, except comes to the Almighty a servant, where all his slaves, his servants, starting with Gabriel down to the last little ant and little critter that walks the earth or walks any other earth, already accounts them and adds them added, and all of them will come to him day of the standing singly. So now we go to the day of the standing, which we want to talk about.
Yeah.
Good
Before,
segue.
yeah, I know. But before that, can you also read chapter 112?
Mm-hmm. Which, oh yeah, that this right. Okay.
Yeah.
Which tells you there is
Yeah.
no partnership with God, which is the exclusivity. The word ikhlas means exclusivity. And this is where the messenger is commanded by the Spirit, Gabriel. And he tells the messenger, say, command. The word qul is a command to the messenger. And the messenger says to the rest of you, all out there from humanity and the demons, he, the God one, the God, the absolute, not he births, and not he born, and not he is to him enough anyone. Nobody is enough to God. Nothing can overcome God. This is all nonsense that they will continue to absolutely destroy their safety in the hereafter with this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think
Now,
that covers partnering quite well. Do you
yeah.
have any other
No.
bifurcations or any other offshoots you want to go into partner? I think it explains it clearly what partnering is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think.
Yes.
I'm sure there's many other things we can talk about in the
Yeah.
Quran. And if you read the words of the Quran, you will understand what this partnering means. Yeah.
Yeah.
And to shy away from it, which they hurl themselves in every day. Yeah. All these people,
Yeah.
especially the Quran holders, they
Yeah.
hurl themselves into this nonsense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Total nonsense.
Yep. And the big one is, right, which people don't realize that, when you forbid anything from what God has not forbidden, you're partnering with God, right? You
Absolutely. Because
already
you're taking
clarified
command
it.
over God's command.
Yeah,
You don't.
exactly.
You
Yeah,
judge with God's command, but the problem is they do not accept that the Quran is the absolute command of God. The ones who hold it, forget the other morons who reject
hmm,
it outright, saying it's a work of Satan, the idiots. They are just destroying their souls and they don't understand it. And they will soon, when they die, and they will say, oh, we believe with it now. Really? Now you're going to believe with it? Hell to you, and never to be returned from it. Those
yeah,
who have known the Quran and they turn away from it rebelliously, they have no choice but hell. There is no choice to them.
yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway, yeah. So now the day of the standing,
So, what do you
and
know yourself about the Day of the Standing? Tell me about it. You know
uh,
some stuff about it as well.
yes, I know, but I would like you to tell me. The day of the standing is going to be like we are all going to die, and then after that, the hour will come, and then we will all stand to God, and He will judge us. And each soul will be brought her book, in which there will be the record of everything that she has done. And on that day, like God will tell us where we are going, right, to the garden, and or to the hellfire. I
It.
mean,
I don't need to explain it then. I mean, like, that's fundamentally it. I mean, the
yeah,
day, okay, so let's, the word is Yawm al Qiyamah, yeah, in the Quran in Arabic. And that word is written 70 times in the Quran. And the word Satan, we talked about it earlier,
yes,
the singular word for Satan. There is a word for Satans, plural, and there's a word for Satan, singular. The singular word for Satan is written 70 times as well. And our father, Abraham, he is written in the Quran exactly 70 times as well. So there's a correlation there, obviously. And also, there are 70 links that will link the people in the fire of hell. That's all going to be 70 links they will be wrapped in. in the hellfire. So this 70 number is quite interesting. I don't know what the implications of that are, but I'm just giving you
Yeah, yeah, I
a
understand that.
something to look at as to how the Quran is so perfect in so many ways, and we've looked at hundreds,
You
if not
know, yeah,
thousands, that the numbers align so perfectly that it's just mind-boggling. Yeah. So yeah, so let's go back to, so this is the day of the standing. Most people that I spoke with, my parents, my father as well, saying everything will stop, because qayama in Arabic means to stop or stand. Yeah, they've gone to the worst possible meaning, which is stop. If everything's going to stop, then what's going to happen after that? Oh, this then things are going to start. No, 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 no. The stopping is going to happen before the day of the standing. So at the end, when this world is destroyed, this heaven and the earth, the life of the world is finished, when all generations have been cycled through and they're now destroyed and under the earth, covered by the earth, yeah. At that time, or before that happens, there's going to be one trumpet or whistle will be blown, when all this earth will be finished at that time, yeah, and everything will be dust dry. The earth will be a complete flat, absolutely flat plain, and dust dry on it. Yeah, sand dry or dust dry, what do you want to call it? It's sand dry in the Quran. So it'll be all sand and it'll be all absolutely leveled. Yeah, there will be no ups and downs, no waviness. Then, then there will be another trumpet, another whistle, and we will all rise, all of mankind, from Adam to the last man. We will all rise out of the earth, this same earth that we're on, which will have been destroyed then. The sun and the moon will have been destroyed, and the dawn will be with the light of God that day, the light of our Lord. And the heaven will send down fluid onto the earth, the dry, sandy earth, leveled, absolutely leveled, not just leveled, but flat leveled. Yeah. They want
yeah,
to see a flat earth, exactly flat, absolutely flat. Wait for that day. Then you'll see an absolutely flat earth. Anyway, so then the fluid will come down and we'll all rise. All of us, each one of us will rise. In the creation, God will make us out of the earth. And we will have a witness and a marcher with us. The two angels, most likely, that are by our side today, will be the same ones who will march us and witness in front of God, each one of us, with all our record in hand, our book, so called, yeah. The record will be in their hands. And each one will be present in front of God for judgment. How long that day is going to last? I don't know, but ain't going to stop. There'll be no stopping. We will be standing to God. And during that day, there's going to be, I don't know, myriad different things happening. So many events will occur. The first ones to be judged will be the witnesses and the prophets. They will be judged, and then the rest will be judged after them. That's one thing that I do understand from the Quran. And when they say witnesses in the Quran, the word is shaheed, whereas these idiots think the shaheed is a martyr. Yeah, in the
yes,
Quran, the shaheed is no martyr. Okay, he's the witness. When you kill someone in the path of God, you make him a witness against you. When someone dies in the path of God, he becomes a witness in the eyes of God. And those who witness with the truth while they're alive, like me, we are the shaheed. I am the witness of God on the earth today over all of mankind. I don't need anybody to accept my judgment. I don't need anybody to accept that I'm a messenger of God. I have the authority to judge over them. I have the authority to witness over them. And I have the authority to tell them the truth, whether they like it or not, which has been the case in every generation before. So there is no like new thing happening today when they say, "Oh, look at this guy. He's bringing uh, his new religion, quote unquote." There's no religion. His way is bringing over our way. Yeah, let me ask you: when Muhammad came, did he bring the way of the people that he came to? When Jesus came, did he bring the way of the people that he came to? When Moses came, and so on and so forth. So this nonsense argument is just crap.
yeah,
Yeah, if the so-called Muslims think they're on the right way, then what I'm telling them Yeah, I'm telling them from the book of God. If they can come and deny it from the book of God, then I'm surely bringing them a wrong way. But whatever I bring them from the book of God
The
tells
same.
them they're on the wrong way, so they'll never come and argue that.
Yeah.
They know it. God says they know they're liars and they will turn away. And that's their desires, their rejection, their hypocrisy, their partnering with God, their following Satan and his writings. And it's a hard place to be, but that's how every generation ends. There is no new thing so called under the sun, yeah, as they say. There are new things, there are new evils that are invented, there are new things obviously there, but there's no new thing under the sun as far as how God's message is brought and how God's messenger is rejected, or his prophet,
Yes.
or the believers. That never changes.
Yep.
And they kept warning, the signs are on the earth, the examples are on the earth, in the scene and in the books, what the books tell them as to how God destroys every generation.
Yeah.
So and then what else about day of the standing would you
You
be
were
interested?
saying that the first going to be judged are going to be the witnesses and the prophets.
Prophet. Yeah.
So you
And
were talking about that, and then you started talking, explaining to us what the witnesses are, who the witnesses are.
okay,
So
so
I
yeah,
think
and
in
then
your
the
book,
rest will be judged and no one's going to be wronged.
yeah,
Oh, so everybody's going to the garden?
no,
No, no. Everybody almost is going to the hellfire. That doesn't mean they're wronged, because they've wronged their own souls and they deserve to go to hell, so they will go to hell. And those who God has made deserving, like me, to go to the garden, if He wishes, as it stands today, I will go to the garden, and hopefully I will go to the higher garden. Yeah, where there's much better stuff to enjoy than in the lower garden, which is great as it is. I would be fine in any of the two gardens, but my aim is to go to the higher garden where there are better things to have fun with. Marginally, maybe, or majorly, I don't know, but it's going to be much better than the lower garden, which is great. I mean, you just don't want to be in the fire. You don't want to be in the hellfire, which most of them will end up in.
yeah.
And they will say, this is all nonsense until they die. Then they will know it's not nonsense, and they are the nonsense that they obviously are on the earth as I see it, because the heart sees the truth, the eyes are blind.
Hmm. And there's also it says that you will kneel around the fire,
Oh,
like.
yeah, absolutely. So every one of us from
Hmm.
mankind is going to kneel over the fire, every single one, that
Hmm.
day. We will see the fire. And then those that God has mercied will be taken afar from the fire. The rest will be left kneeling in her. So this will all occur. This is all going to occur. There are seven doors to the hellfire as well, through which seven different types of rejectors and hypocrites and partnering they will enter. They are different. Like they have the seven deadly sins. It's
Hmm.
related to that. It came from the same concept, I'm sure. But their seven deadly sins is nonsense. The reality is what God has put in the book, and I've been trying to find what is the exact um, division of which ones are going to the fire, and always come up with possibilities, but doesn't matter. There are going to be seven different sets of people who will enter hell through seven different doors. Just like there are seven heavens up there, starting
Yeah.
with this one, there are seven doors into the seven levels, I guess, of hell, yeah, down there. I'm sure each level has a different set of punishments in them, different torture and terrorization of these moronic idiots who will find themselves to be there pretty soon. As things evolve on the earth today, the direction they're going in, they will soon find themselves in hell, and then they will cry for the rest of their existence.
Mhm. So yeah.
What
Yeah.
else about Day of the Standing?
I mean, there is a lot, right? Like if you read the book, I mean, just if you start with the name, I think some places it's mentioned as Day of the Standing. Then it talks about it or the same day, Day of the Way. It
Oh,
says Day
yeah.
of the Way. It calls it
So
the
that's
day.
the first chapter, yeah, which is
Yes,
such a dichotomy from what they've told us all our lives.
yes,
That in chapter one, which is Al Fatiha, it says Yawm ad-Din, and they translate that to day of the religion, or day of the account, or day of the
uh-huh.
judgment. Yeah,
Yes,
no, no, no. Deen means way, doesn't mean religion. It's your way. and it's also the way you walk on, or the way from one city to another, or the
Mm-hmm.
way across the sea from one corner. So anything that is a way is a way. The way you are is your way,
Yeah.
i.e. your religion, but it's not your religion, it's your way you are. The what you believe, what you do is your way. And then whatever anyone believes or doesn't believe and does and doesn't do is his way or her way. Doesn't matter. That's the way you are. This Quran is the actual way to God if you stand on it. So when it says Yawm ad-Din in the first chapter of the Quran, that means day of the way you're going to be made to be on that day. So that day, either you will be on the way to hell or on the way to the garden. There's not going to be any, oh, I don't want to decide anymore, like in this world. Yeah.
Yeah.
In this world, they sit around saying, no, 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 I'll just wait till God tells me. When God gives me a sign personally, when He sends me the inspiration and revelation, then I will believe. You, no, 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 we're not going to listen to you. Back off. Who the hell are you? You're not telling us any clarity. We're going to wait till God decides. Then we will make our decision. Sure,
Mm-hmm.
keep waiting. He's
Yeah.
already made the decision for you, by the way, just by the fact what you're saying. Your
Yeah.
decision has been made and you will end up in hell,
Yeah.
obviously. So
Yeah.
that day, there's going to be no halfway house. The only halfway house that day is the lower garden, which ain't really a halfway
Mm.
house. It's a phenomenal, a
A place to
beautiful
be in.
existence that
Yeah.
you'll be
Yeah.
in. So there's going to be either garden or
Mm.
hell.
Yeah.
The only difference will be whether you're in the higher garden or the lower garden. That's the only
Yeah.
thing that will be different that day.
Yeah.
After that day ends, by the way.
Yeah.
Day of the way is the day the way is going to be set up. Once that day is finished,
Mm-hmm.
then you will end up in your places. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How long is
And
that day going to be? That's a good question.
yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
how is good time going to be counted when there's no sun and moon? That
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. There is no time for God. Okay, He just
Yeah.
does things. He does
And
things and then he waits for things to happen and then he does other things. That's how things evolve with God. It's um, cause and effect. Yeah. If then if. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
If then. Yeah, this is how God works. Yeah. He
Yeah.
did something, then something happened, then he will do something else. It's just the
Yeah.
way we work as well. If you look at it, everybody's caught up in time,
Yeah. You
and
say
count
to
it.
you have told us that look at the events. What events happened? Remember when
Yeah.
you tell us, right?
Yeah.
To look at
Don't
events.
worry about time. It's the events that happen. Time doesn't matter. That's why
Yeah.
it's a term we're here on. The term has many events that have to occur. Time is only part of it. Everybody just focuses on the time and they're calculating, oh, it was 12,000 years, the Mayan calendar. Now the world is ending. Yeah, nonsense. Yeah, how do
Yeah.
you know how much time has passed? Nobody knows this except God, you know, and time is His creation. We're stuck in it.
Yeah.
He's not.
Yeah.
He's not stuck in any time. We are stuck in time, and we need to get unstuck from this time and see
And
the reality of what's going on with us and what we are as beings and what is our actual ability and what power we have. We think we have, oh, we are so powerful. We will change the earth. We as humanity will come together and we will overcome all that's happening in the earth and we will overcome all evil. Yeah, if God wants. But usually He comes and overcomes all the evil while you stand on the side and watch. Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
Sometimes it happens the other way as well. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but right now there are no believers on the earth. I don't see any.
Mm-hmm.
And until that happens in a great amount of numbers or great enough numbers, then that punishment of God or the destruction of evil will not occur by the hands of man. It will occur by the hands of God, like in the case of Noah, Hud, Saleh, Abraham, Lot, Shoaib, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and even Moses. All of them, God destroyed them. They didn't fight or do anything.
Mm-hmm.
They just brought the message and told them, watch out, you're going to be destroyed. Ha 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 ha. The
They
answer was
mocked
ha ha
them.
ha ha. Joker, he's such a
Mm-hmm.
joker. Are you just playing with us? They told Abraham. Are you from the players? Are you telling us the seriousness? That's what they do with all of us.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing different. Nothing different has occurred. Nothing different will occur as far as this is concerned. And in the end, they're destroyed. And
Yeah.
that destruction is coming upon this generation at a speed which is increasing rapidly as so-called time passes, yeah, or so-called events unfold, which are unfolding at a level which I've never seen in my life, at least. I'm sure this is not the first time when people, oh, we have advanced to a massive, enormous, unfathomable level. We are such beings of absolute knowledge and technology. Oh, nonsense. Nonsense. This has happened many times before. Yeah, it's going to be the biggest collapse in mankind's history.
Yes.
No, morons. The biggest collapse one was the whole world was flooded by God. There hasn't been a collapse like that, and there won't probably be until the end comes and everything is destroyed. Minus that would be the smoke when it comes, possibly close to the collapse that happened with Noah, the generational collapse that has never been repeated ever. I mean, not
Yeah.
even close to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when the smoke comes, that might be close. But what's going to overcome that collapse is the final collapse. That's what we're waiting for. Not
Yeah.
that this, oh, economic system collapses, oh, the dollar is going to collapse, oh, the economies are going to collapse, oh, the United States is going to collapse. Who gives a damn? And these
Yeah.
nations are going to collapse. They're all going to be destroyed. They're all going to be punished. There's no two ways about it. There's no two ways to think about it. There is no doubt in that, but they will doubt till it happens.
Yeah.
This is the way of mankind every time. Yeah. And then each generation is also judged and put in the fire as well. Every time the generation is ended, it's all clear in the Quran. In chapter 7, you can read it.
Yeah.
Every generation is judged for that end of their generation, the punishment, and they're thrown in the fire. They're burning there. People will laugh at this as well. Let them laugh. They laughed at all my brothers before me, all our fathers before us who brought the truth. Adam, Noah, Abraham.
Abraham.
And
Yeah.
then they will keep laughing till the end comes with them. And it's coming soon. If these people think they have any kind of ability to stand up against what I say with the Quran as the judge, then come with it if you can. And you will lose. I can guarantee you that. Or we will be even because you will say exactly what I say from the Quran. Other than that, you will lose.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
So you can be even with me or you can
Hmm.
lose. You will not win your argument when you come with the Quran and argue with me. You will win every time when you come with your thoughts because all you're following is your thoughts.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So much
Anyway,
about that.
uh,
So
are we
yeah.
good?
So
Yeah.
yeah, we are good. So basically,
What
we
else?
no. That's all. I'm just going to say that the book also calls it going back to the day of standing, the day, the later,
Yeah.
and the day of distinction.
Actually,
Of
day
this.
the later is going to be going to live.
Oh, so it's
The
not there.
afterlife. That's going to be
Okay.
after Day of the Standing. I mean,
Okay.
that is, you can, yeah, obviously that's part of it. Obviously, you're right. But there's
Hmm.
going to be the day later is we're going to live in the here forever,
Finally.
fundamentally.
Okay. Right.
They want life forever. Yeah.
Hmm.
The desires in our hearts. We want to live forever. That desire should be focused on the hereafter where we're actually going to live forever, not on this life which we know we're not going to live forever. See, the
Yeah.
dichotomy God has put us. God had put it in our hearts that we want to live forever. Obviously, everybody wants to live forever. We don't want to die. But you have to understand there's no option here.
Yeah.
You have to die. And then you must understand that God is just. So that desire should be for the hereafter, to live forever, because that's where we're going to live forever, whether we want to or not. And those burning in the fire will want to end that life and it will not end.
Yeah.
Here they want to live forever and it will end. See the
Yeah.
dichotomy? It's like so perfectly balanced,
Yeah.
the equation, but they will not see it because unfortunately, their hearts are blind, deaf, dumb. Their intellect is gone. They cannot use it because they've thought of too much nonsense and they've accepted too much garbage and lies, and their hypocrisy runs deep and their diplomacy runs deeper. Yeah.
Yeah. The teachings of Satan, right? Writings of the Satan followed too much of that. Yeah.
Yep. We
Exactly.
did that when we were growing up. Not
Yep.
anymore.
Yeah. Not
Anyway, are we
anymore.
good for today? I think we
Yes.
wrap
Yeah.
it
Good.
up.
Yeah. Okay.